And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on in to Apollo Racing Club NASCAR Truck Series here on iRacing. I'm Adam, EV500. Joining me in the booth, as always, the man across the pond, James Williamson. James, we come into tonight with two races to go, and the championship getting very, very tight with Andrew Serwick and Austin Armstrong right now.
It's good evening, Adam. Yeah, it certainly is an intriguing battle for this championship. Austin, of course, had a good finish at Bristol, ruined by a late penalty, which is the second time it's happened this season. It's put him back a bit, but with the drop races, it's still very close. Austin, of course, just really needs to get a win tonight. I know that Andrew has an issue.
So up on the screen right now is the total standings. This is the total amount. We do have a 2 dropped race rule here in the standings. So if you're good at math and doing math quickly, you'll figure this out very quickly. So Andrew right now doesn't sit with 345 points. He currently sits with 289 points. So he has 2 drop points there that are very significant. 26 points for a 13th place finish at Auto Club, and then 30 points for a 7th place at Watkins Glen. So some pretty big point totals. Now, Cody Barrett on the screen shows to have 308, but you have to subtract his drop races at this current point in time and go. He has 263 total points, and then Austin Armstrong making a big leap here in the last couple of weeks. He's at 281, so that would technically put him in the second and only 8 points away from Andrew Serwick. So a win tonight is a must for Austin Armstrong to keep his championship hopes alive. And of course, next week will be the final race here at Apollo Racing Club NASCAR Truck Series for the season at Miami Homestead. So that should be a great race as well to close off the first season here at Apollo Racing Club. Let's take a look at some practice times here as Colin Kinzer leads the way. He's gone a little bit faster since previously looking. He's at a 54.76 and Andrew Serwick of 54.77. Colin Kinzer has had 3 wins in a row here in the last 3 weeks. And James, this is the guy I think we need to be watching for tonight here at Pocono.
Yeah, it certainly would have been in this title fight and probably would have won the title at Cantor if he'd not missed so many races in the middle part of the season. And yeah, he's going to obviously be another threat tonight. He's showing it every time he's actually raced here. So there's some cars there. A bit of carnage. Hopefully, we don't get like this in the race.
Well, you never know here.
You do never know. But back to the Colin Kinster thing. Yeah, he's certainly one to watch for tonight, along with obviously the usual suspect Andrew Serwick, Tommy Cogan, of course Austin Armstrong, Cody Barrett. You know, they're all going to be up there. I think, as always tonight, track position is key. So getting a good qualifying is going to be the important thing. And that's not been Andrew's strong point at time, as more carnage is happening.
Yeah. So we're at the end of the
I'm
practice
trying to pretend
session.
it's not happening. Yes, we are at the end of the practice session. They're all practicing what they're going to do. Turn 1, lap 1.
Well, this is a 2.5 mile track. Now, the last time we raced at a 2 mile long track was back in Michigan. That race, pretty boring actually, and not one of the better strong suits in this truck. But here at the Tricky Triangle, it's a little bit different. A lot of slipstream available. So we're going to keep our eyes on that tonight, as we're going to see probably packs of cars joining together. Now we go to qualifying here. This is going to be a 5-minute 2-lapper qualifying session. Let's head over to Austin Armstrong, who's out there first.
Austin Armstrong, of course, with Joe Hendry on his hood. Adam, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Well, here we go for the first bit of qualifying. Again, there's
answer the question, Adam. Adam, answer the question. Answer the question, Adam. Stop denying it.
We're not talking about this right now. So we see Austin Armstrong now down the back stretch, and he's going to get ready to go out here. We have several other drivers out as well. Nick Jadude, Cody Barrett, Thomas Castellani, Gary Cully, Eric Chang, Colin Kinzer, Craig Bray, Mark Feeney, Brad Collier, Dylan Pitch, Brock Whiteman, and Sam Carasala, all out there on the track. Going to put in their first laps here as we are going to start with Austin Armstrong right now, who is not, he's technically on a lap, I think, at this point.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So, now why is this track so difficult, James?
Well, Adam, it's simple. Every corner is different. You've got the high bank of the first one, and that's kind of almost flat out. Then we're coming up to the second turn, the tunnel turn. Now this one requires a lot of precision in how you enter it to get the maximum amount of speed. And Austin Armstrong seems to do a good job there. The wall comes up very fast on the exit there, and a lot of people will be smashing that tonight. And then we go to the very flat turn 3. This is almost flat out, but you really need to get low. We sort of start high, diagonal down towards that rumble strip, and then again the wall comes at you. You have to be very brave and just assume you're not going to hit it on the exit. But Austin Armstrong should have put the first lap up there.
He did, but Mark Feeney crosses the line as well. 54.91 is the fastest lap time on the board. That's Mark Feeney. Austin Armstrong second. Craig Bray goes to the third spot with a 55.13. Nick Jadu goes fourth quick with a 55.20. Let's head on over to Andrew Surwick now, our championship leader here tonight. And he is going to be looking for a quick time here as he comes out of turn. Is that turn 3 now? This track
That's
is very...
turn 1.
Turn 1. We're on turn 1.
Turn 1's high bank. It feels like he's maybe blown his first lap because he came out when everyone else went out. This might be his second lap. So he really needs to get a time in. Like I said, track positioning is going to be key. Don't be working through that field. Oh! You see, that's what I say about the exit turn 2, though. You really can hit that wall very easily. It's so inviting to really put the throttle down early, and you can sometimes pay for it. But Andrew there, you do the right line through 3, just keeping it nice and tight. Then running, we didn't run to the wall as much as I thought he would.
Andrew Surwick's first lap time, 55.02.
Puts him fourth next to Austin Armstrong, so he's doing what he needs to do. Just keep Austin in tow. Andrew just needs to be careful tonight. Just try and get a good result. He just needs to get 2 solid results, and he should be fine.
So let's head to a driver who's making his debut here on Apollo Racing Club, Alexander Barnes, and he just recently signed up. So welcome, Alexander, and thank you for joining us here tonight. First race, so he'll get kind of a pretty good idea of how this goes, and he will come around into the front stretch, and let's see what his time is going to be. Crosses that line. What is it? It's going to be 10th fastest at 55.43. Andrew Surwick crossing the line now. Does he beat the time? No. Colin Kinzer goes second quick, though, and he is at a 54.96. And that's Colin Kinzer's lap.
Yeah, looks like Mark Feeney's going to walk away with the pole position here.
That would be twisting this on its head very quickly.
Unless Tommy Cogan's got an answer for it right now.
Let's find out. No, he does not.
Well, it's practicing his pit entry. Something he needs to do.
So Mark Feeney currently on the pole with a 54.91. Let's watch here for Alexander Barnes. Let's head on board with him. He's coming down the front stretch, and he will cross the line here. Does he go? No, he's out of time. Right before the line, time expires, and he doesn't get an opportunity for the pole. So let's take a look at tonight's grid here at Apollo Racing Club. We got the number 73. Mark Feeney on the pole. Next to him is going to be the 46 of Colin Kinzer in P3. In row number 2, the number 709 of Craig Bray. On the outside, it's going to be 316 of Austin Armstrong. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be the 22 of Andrew Surwick.
In the 6th position, it's going to be the 55 of Tommy Lee Cogan. And on the 4th row, in 7th place, is the 402 machine of Cody Barrett. Next to him in 8th is going to be the 25 of Gary Corley. And onto the 5th row, Nick Juju starting in 9th. in the 45. And rounding out the top 10 is the 41 of Brock Whiteman.
Looking at the rest of the grid here, it's going to be in P11, the 411 of Dylan Pitch. On the outside, it's going to be the 77 of Alexander Barnes. In 13th place, in the number 47 of Thomas Castellani. And on the outside of Thomas, it's going to be the 308 of Eric Chang. On the outside, and on the inside in the final row, in the number 28 of Brad Collier. On the outside, the number 24 of Sam Carasala. So that is a look at tonight's grid. And we will get ready here to go racing here in just a moment as the cars now come out of the pit lane. We'll do a formation lap here, or a pace lap, excuse me. I almost offended so many of the...
You offended everyone, Adam.
I almost offended everybody there. All the oval guys. All the oval guys almost just...
They're coming to your house right now. They're going to come to your house and take away your dirt vision.
So the drivers coming down the back stretch here, trying to get some form of heat onto the tires.
Yep.
But Mark Feeney taking his first pole position of the season.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't even remember if he's ever got a pole, even in the IndyCar League when that was running. But he's certainly up there. Maybe wasn't expected, but he's got the usual suspects around him, Adam. So first few laps going to be dynamite, I reckon.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost time to go racing here. 50 laps around the tricky triangle. I think that's going to go pretty quickly here tonight. And hang on, strap in, as we are going to have one heck of a good race. Storyline to follow tonight. Austin Armstrong needing a big race and a big points night to get even close to Andrew Serwick to take the championship into next week. Pace car is off. It is time to go racing here, and green flag. And Mark Feeney, great start there, but Colin Kinzer going to hang around his outside. You got Austin Armstrong, who's also approaching the rear bumper here of Colin Kinzer. And here they come into the first turn, currently 2 rows. And again, the draft is going to be a huge thing here tonight. So be on the watch out of that, finding clean air through the corners, but getting back into the draft down the straights. As now we can see the entire field. Gary Cully, not a great start on his part. He's fallen back to 16th. As now Austin Armstrong on the back bumper of Colin Kinzer, as Colin Kinzer will take the lead here in turn number 2. And
hit the wall,
Austin, a lot of people really flying high up above the
Andrew's in the wall.
Andrew went into the wall.
He tried to go around Craig, but Craig gave him no space. And he's broke the wall slightly. But a clean opening lap. Mark Feeney, though, he's had a first lap to forget, down in 6th.
Well, that puts Colin Kinzer up to the lead, and Austin Armstrong in 2nd. Tommy Kogan in 3rd. He finds himself in a podium. He's looking for a race win, trying to find that first race win after 2 really poor, unlucky nights with penalties. And here comes Andrew Serwick, though, down the back stretch.
Yeah, he's got, like I said, the draft is in effect, as you can see. Really helps down that back stretch, trying to get through around the tall turn, but Craig Bray's not holding back. But Andrew Serwick slides up in front of him. Gets that slide job done. But Cody Barrett now, he's looking for a piece of that. And he's might be diving under both of them.
He's trying to go for the 2-for-1 special here. He might only get one if it's going to be
enough. He might not even get one. He's going to struggle because I think Craig's going to have the draft all the way down the front stretch, so Cody's going to struggle to onto the back, although Andrew's dropping down a bit, giving a bit, so he's going to go side by side through turn 1, which you can do. One thing I will say, Adam, is this race progresses through this stint. The outside line in turn 1, that's very powerful, especially off the corner. So I expect a lot of drivers to move up there as the race moves on and the tyres start to feel the pinch. But Cody Barrett now, he's going to slide in behind Craig Bray into turn 2.
Well, looking back up front, Tommy Lee Cogan trying to get on the inside of Austin Armstrong, going to fight his way for this position, get second place. Tommy Cogan's going to be one of those drivers, I think, in these last couple of races who's really going to pull off some upsets and not help the championship out really much. And if you're Andrew Serwick, you're happy to see Tommy Cogan back in second place in front of Austin Armstrong.
Yeah, he's just racing for wins like Colin. You know, he's not in this championship battle, and he doesn't need to have the same mentality as Austin and Andrew do, whether survival's important and getting that good finish. They can just try and win at all cost in the early going. But Tommy, like I said, looking for that win. Should have had it at Watkins Glen, but a late race pit penalty just basically snatched a certain victory away from him.
Well, Andrew Oh, we got two in a wall.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Cody Barrett, Mark Feeney. That's another thing, when one guy hits the wall, usually the car behind mirrors him and follows him in, and we saw that there. Cody Barrett, Mark Feeney both hitting the wall.
And you can see Andrew Serwick, he has made up some ground here on Austin Armstrong, and Austin's going to have to be defensive here as well as try and be a little bit offensive. We got a 4-car battle for the lead at this point, maybe 5 cars with Craig Bray approaching this battle here just in the background. And Colin Kinser's going to have his hands full as we are now on lap number 6, lap 5. And James, the tires tonight are going to be a big talking point, I think, as this race goes on. They get 2 sets of tires. And you got to wonder, when do people pit for tires in this car on this track?
Well, that's the problem with people who've been having, where you only get 2 sets for possibly 3 stops. But I would just take tires first 2 stops and assume we aren't going to get a late race caution. But like I said, because track position is so important here, if you get towards the end of the race and you maybe haven't got the best tyre, it doesn't matter so much because it's still very difficult to get a pass done. So I'd say take them early and make the most of them while it's going, because that's the thing. Once the drop off quite quickly here, you feel like Superman for a few laps, and then it starts reality start hitting, and the car gets a bit tighter. Turn 2, turn 3 become a lot more difficult. Turn 1, like I said, you generally want to run the high line later in the stint, and you just get such a great run off that corner if you do that. But I think at the moment, a lot of people, especially Andrew, is very good at saving tyres. Maybe just holding back a bit, happy to coast and just riding the draft. Maybe save a bit of fuel. You know, just give yourself those options early on. But 6 laps in now, and probably the next couple of laps is when the tyres are going to start, you know, showing their effect of how people have handled these opening laps, Adam. And
the clean air is going to be so vital later into this race. You don't want to be in dirty air through the corners, or you're just going to lose the car at some point. And when you have a track like this, it's very difficult to find entirely clean air. And look at that slide by Andrew Serwick. He is now on the back bumper here of Austin Armstrong. Austin Armstrong trying to stay on the back bumper of Tommy Cogan as Colin Kinser's watching in the background. Now here comes Andrew Serwick. He's going down the inside of Austin Armstrong. And Andrew Serwick, can he get the move done? They're still side by side, but Andrew Serwick has a better run out of the corner, and now he moves himself into the 3rd spot.
Yeah, a lovely move there. Used turn 2, both of them managing to avoid hitting the wall. Gets moved on, but Austin also surely will use the draft down this front straight to maybe get a run into turn 1. You can see him slowly gaining Adam, but whether he's got enough or whether he wants to, you know, use his tyres up at this point and try maybe think of the long game. But he's running the outside, Andrew's running the middle. Let's see what happens. Like I said, I think down the back straight now, Austin's going to have such a run because of the line he's taken. You can see it already. He's not right on the back bunk of Andrew. Does he want to go around him, or does he just want to ride it through turn 2? Looks like he's going to just ride it at him. But Austin Armstrong really needs, he needs to get past Andrew. He can't afford to finish behind him again. But at the moment, Andrew seems to be in control.
This is when what do you do? Are you going to save tires? Or are you going to push a little bit to try and get these spots early? I mean, we're only on lap 9, and we've had a pretty clean race, but it doesn't take all that much to get a caution here at Pocono. It really doesn't, no. As we see Andrew Serwick trying to make that move down the inside. Has some clean air now. Doesn't have to worry about another car in front of him disturbing himself there. And a little bit of contact into the wall.
And that's giving Austin Armstrong the chance to get around him. And he has. Austin Armstrong's probably going to get this moved on into turn 2. Will Andrew fight it? He's trying to do the crossover. They're going to go side by side out the corner. It's now going to come down to turn 3, Adam. Austin Armstrong on the outside. Andrew on the inside. Who's going to get the move? Austin Armstrong drives it in deep. But can he hold it on the exit? That's the problem. When you drive it in that deep, it's not hard to get the exit without hitting the wall. But he's done it. Austin Armstrong back up into 3rd. Capitalising on that mistake by Andrew Serwick on the back straight.
Now he's hoping for Andrew Serwick to make a few more mistakes like that and fall behind a couple positions. Again, these two, 8 points apart in the championship, and this is going to be vital. This race is extremely vital between these two. Of course, we can't count Cody Barrett out of this. If he gets a race win in these two DNF, he is in the conversation for the championship going into the final race. So that's somebody to keep an eye on. He has 263 points. That's Cody Barrett. Now, Austin Armstrong's got to make a couple of moves here. He's got to get by Tommy Kogan before the pit cycle happens. That way he can maybe get the undercut and get the track position on pit lane. And then it's just a hunt to get to Colin Kinser. Let's see what the lap times look like here. So it is very close. Austin Armstrong a 56.3, so he was faster than Colin Kinser last lap.
Yeah, he's obviously going to be faster just because of the draft effect. But at the moment, these 4 just need to keep running away, break away, and wait for the first pits, and then I think that's going to be the best time for anyone to overtake Colin. At the moment, when you're in this 4-car draft, it's difficult to get too far ahead. And also, like I say, you're thinking along. You know you're going to have to double stint a set of tyres. You don't want to use up too much too early, because otherwise you're sort of forcing yourself into taking tyres maybe when you want to say. I think Tommy Kogan's just hit the wall out of 3, which is, again, now we're 10, 11 laps in. The truck tightens up on those exits. You're not Superman anymore. The kryptonite's been deployed. We're going to see more. I think we're going to see more mistakes and more people hitting the wall now, Adam, as the tyres are starting to feel the pinches slightly. And then, there we go. Tommy Kogan hits the wall. Out of 1, he's dropped down to 4th. He probably might drop down behind Craig Bray after this. That's what I was saying. It's so quickly these tyres drop off. Truck tightens, and you need to adjust for that. So Tommy Kogan drops back into 5th, Adam. While Austin Armstrong now in 2nd, Andrew Serwick in 3rd. Craig Bray up into 4th, but he's over a second behind this front 3. So can Austin Armstrong now make any headway on Colin? That's the next question.
And I feel so bad I had to walk away for just a moment and unfortunately missed all that. But Tommy Kogan falling down to 5th, and this is becoming tight now.
Yep, the racing's getting tighter, and so are the trucks. So I think this is when we're going to start maybe seeing a caution, because you slap that wall. The guy behind, if you're close to a guy behind you, you could just run into the back of you. It's very easy to do that. So look away through the field. Look at Mark Feeney, who's on the pole and he's dropped down to 10th.
Austin Armstrong, good run here as they come down the back stretch. Look at Austin Armstrong go. He's got some life in the tires, and he's going to utilize that. Colin Kinser trying to hang it around the outside, pressuring Austin Armstrong. The two make contact.
No. Yeah, they do. They survive, though.
They survive, and that's going to hurt Austin Armstrong quite a bit. And now that's going to give Andrew Serwick, a little bit of contact to Austin Armstrong, who narrowly avoids that, but Andrew Serwick takes the lead of the race here, but Colin Kids are around the outside. These three are racing so close here, and this is when chaos can emerge. What?
It's only lap 14, gentlemen. They're acting like it's the last lap. But look, I swear again, as this run's gone on, look at the outside. Colin Kisley used that to his advantage. Great shunt down this front straight, or back straight, and now he's back into the lead. Austin Armstrong looking back for second.
Austin Armstrong gets by, and now
he's started. Oh, no. And we're going for a repeat.
Austin Armstrong side by side with Colin Kinzer into the final turn. They go down to the front stretch. No contact this time, but not a great run out of the exit of that corner on the inside. Colin Kinzer will maintain the lead of the race, but Austin Armstrong trying to fight back. Gets him a little bit of a shove there, and you can see that car moving around of Colin Kinzer. But Colin Kinzer was not disturbed by that, but here comes I think this is going to be a really good run here for Austin Armstrong as they come through turn number 1. And now he's on this. This is when your spotter's going, do not move. Hold your line. And Colin Kinzer is going to have to fight off Austin Armstrong here, who might have the position as they go through turn number 2. Again, the outside line is going to be very effective through there. And Colin Kinzer is going to drive back, and that's allowing Andrew Serwick to stay in this now. He is not falling back, and if Austin Armstrong would have been able to get a position here and be able to get clean air, he would be out by quite a lot.
Well, it's dragged Craig Bray and Tommy Cogan back into this as well, because these two just going side by side. You lose so much time. And Andrew Serwick now is he going to try and cut down? Or is he going to try and move? I think he's boxed in here. Austin Armstrong diving into that inside.
Yeah, Austin Armstrong trying to use up the life of his tires here.
It really is. He's just going for it, and he has to. He needs to win. And he needs to beat Andrew as well. But look, I mean, you can see again the outside line off turn 1. It just absolutely rockets you down that back straight.
And Colin Kinzer going to drop in front of Austin Armstrong.
Well, Colin's done what he needs to do. He's cleared this now. Now it's Austin and Andrew side by side. Craig Bray getting involved.
Watch out for Craig Bray here as he's trying to race for the lead. A 4-car battle here at lap 16.
This guy in tears, I feel.
Someone is not going to be happy at the end of this. I can tell you that much. And Austin Armstrong, he's going to have to. He just can't maintain that bottom line. That bottom line is a good way to get a good run down the back stretch, but you have to pass him before you get to turn 2.
Yeah. You mentioned pit stops, Adam. We've got a couple of people in the pits now. Cody Barrett and Thomas Castanelli are taking the early pit stop. Austin Armstrong, flying jumps in front of Craig Bray there. The tears were almost ready, but they managed to survive somehow. Andrew Serwick, though, he's looking at Colin Kisler as well. We've got action at the front here, Adam. 4 cars battling. Wow. It's only lap 17 as well. But now we've got Cody Barrett and Thomas Castellari pitting. Is anyone else going to follow? The undercut here is quite strong. If you have a couple of laps at it. So, how long will these people stay out? Collins made the mistake. Andrew's staying out. Everyone else has stayed out. And this gives Andrew Serwick a bonus point for leading a lap as well.
Wow, that's compare times here.
Wyman's gone in as well.
So we have dropped about 2 seconds off the pace.
Yeah. You're going to see it very soon. You're going to see it very soon once Cody's done an actual lap. He's on his out lap at the moment, but his next lap will probably be a good second hour faster. So you can gain and lose a lot of time if you pit too early or too late. And like I said, you're going to split this up for 3 stops. So, 17, 18 laps is about perfect.
Oh, Austin Armstrong into the wall.
Absolutely destroys the wall. Surely he's going to pit this time just to get the damage fixed.
I mean, the damage that he has is not affecting him much because he doesn't have any damage on the front.
No, Andrew's in. Colin, everyone's in.
Everyone's in. Craig Bray has to lock the brakes. I don't know if that will be a speeding penalty. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
No!
Oh, my word. Where's Craig Bray's round on pit road?
Oh, no.
So, I believe Wow. Anyway, our two championship leaders pitting now. Who's going to get out first?
That would have been dicey if that they had to avoid
Oh,
each other there. They're in front of Austin Armstrong getting new tires here, it looks like. Same with Andrew Surwick and Craig
I can
Bray.
imagine. I'm sure everyone will take tyres at this stage. Craig Bray now in the pits. Andrew gets away first.
And it's going to be
We need
Andrew, Austin.
we need to look at where Colin and Cody and all that are coming out as well, because
Colin Kinser's already down the front straight.
yeah, Nick DeJuice strain is out.
And guess who's out in front?
Andrew
Surwick and Austin Armstrong. So they are out in front.
And a big lead as well. I'm surprised by that. They must have really attacked the pit lane harder than Colin had. So our 4-car battles now 2-car battle. This is what we won't add. It's our two of our 3 championship like contenders, 1 and 2, battling for this win early. And got Colin, who's led the early part of this race. He's now 4 seconds back. Can he close this gap? I'm sure he will, especially if Andrew and Austin start fighting. And Cody Barrett, he's got up to 5th after the pit cycle, so he's done all right out of all this.
If I was Austin right now, because Austin's fastest lap was quicker than Andrew Surwick's by almost a tenth.
But you have to factor in he's getting the draft for that. That's the thing. But also, he's also going to be destroying his tyres more.
Well, I mean,
behind Andrew, it's really playing into Andrew's hands early on here.
Yeah,
he's got the clean air.
He's got clean air, but Austin Armstrong's going to have that draft. And I think if he just matches the lap time in this stint and try and maybe extend the life of those tires, that's what if he's going to have a chance of getting by Surwick on this stint, he's got to save some tires and kind of force Surwick at the same time to utilize his tires and defend. And I think a little bit of pressure from Austin here, but just not trying to get the move done, just allowing Andrew to make the mistake of utilizing those tires. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how these two play this out.
Yeah, I don't know what's just for Austin really. I mean, like I said, does he try and extend his tire life, or does he just go for it, try and do everything he can to get around him, and then worry about the tires later?
Yeah, because if you're calling Kinser right now, that's what you're going to do. You're going to save tires. That way you can close the gap.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like 10 laps in, tires, you can make over half second difference a lap if you've done well with the tires. So everyone, this also, Adam, you have to factor in everyone's got to decide if they want to use the next set of tires, the next stop, or extend it. Everyone probably use one set of tires. They'll have one set left. Do they want to use it for the last stint, or do they want to use it for the next, for the second stint? I know a lot of people like to maybe save tires for the end in case we do get a late caution. But it doesn't always work like that, and sometimes you just need to assume we ain't get, it's not gonna, the caution ain't gonna come. We're not gonna get that late race caution, and then new tires are going to be an advantage. But at the moment, Andrew's pulling away slightly from Austin. I know, like I say, if Austin is saving tyres, maybe he'll pull back later in the stint. But Tommy Cogan and Colin Kisner need to kind of work together at this stage, maybe push each other forward, see if they can close that gap.
Yeah, you can
sort of stabilised at 4.5 seconds at the moment.
Almost a 56 for Austin Armstrong. Andrew Surwick was a 55.7. So, and Austin hasn't beat his PB on this track since that first stint with the draft, obviously. So I don't know. I don't think Austin's pushing all that hard. I mean,
No, I think is just sort of maintaining a gap where he'll get the draft and not using up all his tires.
Yeah, he's staying within that
Right.
9/10
Yeah.
gap.
I
He's
mean,
right
as you
under
saw,
second.
even if you get side by side with the car in front, it's very hard to get the actual move done. So all you're doing is you just be destroying each other's races. I think Austin had a really bad
He had a really bad
turn one
corner.
there. Yeah,
He threw it in a little bit too hard, I think, because you could just see him kind of just was really
yeah.
understeery through the corner.
The truck said no. He's looks like he's understeered again there. He needs to be careful not to beat the wall down again. He's still in the first stint. There's still plenty of racing left, and the second stop you could get out ahead just through that if he attacks the pit lane right. And also a caution will just change everything.
Well,
I think further down, Cody Barry in sixth. He's got Mark Feeney and Dylan Pitch right behind him. That looks like a
oh,
good battle going on back there.
yeah, I was gonna say, look at this, Mark Feeney trying to get by Cody Barrett here around the
They're
outside.
swerving all over the place. Four
Yeah,
car battle here, just outside the top five. Mark Feeney working his way back up to sixth after starting on the pole. Adam dropping all the way down to 10th in that first stint, but he's back
that's
up to sixth now.
that just shows how unfortunate this racetrack can be sometimes for some drivers. And he, when it really ensued, that is just not a great run, not a great run through the corners, and hit the wall, I think, at one point too, and just fell backwards. So that tells you that momentum is everything in oval racing. You got to keep the momentum going through these corners. Now you can see Cody Barrett pushing the issue here a little bit. Just a couple of tenths off of Mark Feeney here. Colin Kinzer, third place, has Tommy Kogan right behind him. This is starting to turn out a little bit here. And these two, again, they have nothing to, they have nothing to lose here. They're not in the championship here, but they can win races. As we saw Tommy Kogan at Watkins Glen picking up a speeding penalty in pit lane and had to serve that. Colin Kinzer, 3 wins in a row, and he has been on a mission ever since.
Yeah, when he has raced, he's pretty much won or finished on the podium, so it's always up there. He's obviously in the podium spots tonight, and he was leading the first stint. But these two just cannot make any ground on Andrew. Andrew's just got that clean out, and he's just pulling away from Austin, who's stuck in no man's land now. As Tommy Lee Kogan there, turn one, he's got the move done. He's back up to third, further back with.
Well, as we were talking there, Dylan Pitch has flipped the tables here as he is now
He's
up
to
into
sixth.
He's gotten by both Mark Feeney and Cody Barrett, and was enjoying watching their battle, but probably said, that's enough. I don't want to be involved in something here. And he got by it. So,
Yeah, and he's pulling away slightly. So, good result if he finishes up there. But Colin Kisner's got back around Tommy Kogan. Tommy Kogan had him in turn one, but by the time we got back to turn three, Colin's back in third. But again, because these two are fighting, they've lost another second on that lap to Andrew, so they're not helping each other's cause. As the field is working lap 27.
we're past the halfway point here. And
we've had no cautions.
No cautions yet, which, hey, this is better than Michigan. Michigan, we had an opening lap crash. We had a start-finish line multi-car crash, and was that the only caution?
I believe it was. I forgot about the rest of the race. I can't remember who won. Did anyone win? Did I win? Did you win, Adam?
Did I win?
I think the viewers won that night. It was such a fun race.
Such a great race. Michigan was won by Colin.
Oh, of course.
So, Again, Colin Kinzer, he has 4 wins on the season and has 3 in a row. Andrew Surwick,
Yeah.
our current standings leader, has 3 wins this season.
And he's looking to get his 4th tonight.
Yep, and that tells
And
you,
he's looking,
consistency is key. Being here, being at these races, picking up points. The last win Andrew Surwick had was in Texas. That was a month ago.
that was quite a while ago now.
Yeah, that was over a month ago now, since Andrew's last win here.
I mean, he had a bit of a rocky patch for the P2 last week, and that was a kind of a almost fortuitous P2 just because the way the race ended up. But he's back on form tonight. 2-second lead over Austin Armstrong, his main title rival, in second. Still looking good for Andrew so far, but a caution could change this race very quickly.
It could, and we still got groups of cars close to each other.
And we're getting late into the tyre stint now, so it's very easy to get a bit tight and maybe bump a rival.
Will it happen with one of these two tonight?
I don't think so. These two know how to race. It'll probably end up crashing now. I said that. Let's make it up a fool.
You just absolutely. If this happens,
right,
you just put a curse on them. It would be 100% confirmed.
I believe they could race, and then they'd end up proving me wrong. And it's like, haha.
You just you just broke the rules of commentary on racing. You just absolutely just cursed them now. At some point, they are going to crash.
Wow.
At some point, now you just jinxed them. Good job, James. Working magic from the UK. Very nice.
You're welcome. Always, anytime, Adam.
And, of course, next week, the finale of Season 1 of the ARC NASCAR Truck Series at Miami Homestead. I think that'll be a great track to end our season on. Of course,
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. And then, of course, we will head into the off season where we will decide on a whole new schedule. Of course, we hope to include more short tracks. We tried something with this series as we kind of didn't know what to expect, and it's actually turned out, hey, our short track racing is pretty fun to watch, and not a caution fest as we saw last week at Bristol.
We have 9 short dirt ovals on the schedule at Watkins Glen.
Dirt ovals. There will be a dirt oval next season. I can say that much.
Yeah.
And a road course, but
let's make it Williams Grove.
No.
Oh no, let's make it the Chili Bowl. I know the trucks go around that. How awesome would that be?
I think who is going to cause this late race caution? I'm looking through the field here, just trying to determine who is
why are you cursing him like this?
I'm not cursing him. I'm saying it now so I can undo your curse. Okay.
Okay. Well, maybe Cody will hit. Cody's hitting the pit lane. That's what he's doing.
Green flag pit stops here again, and
that's a good. That could cause a caution. Someone hits someone onto pit road.
Yeah. Well, that could definitely cause something to happen. So Cody Barrett, first one into the pit lane.
Yep, second time in a row he's been first in.
Now, question is, when does everybody else fall into the pit lane? Ooh, Austin Armstrong, way high, coming out of the exit of that turn. He almost smacked the wall, as he now is almost 5 seconds down to Andrew Surwick. He better hope that Andrew Surwick gets a time penalty or something. As Colin Kinzer blocking off Tommy Kogan here. This battle has been going on for many laps now between these two.
Yep, and as I've seen, it's just so difficult to get the move done. See someone, Mark Feeney's dropping into the pit lane in the background. But Tommy Kogan, he's going to look at that back bumper of Colin Kisner most of the night, and he would love more than anything to get past him, but Collins is proving too difficult and too tough to make the move stick. But he's got a great run down the back straight. But again, will he look for turn 3? But I'd imagine these two are going to pit in the next couple of laps, Adam.
Yeah, it
Oh,
would
here
be
we go.
good run here by by Tommy Kogan, excuse me, and he's already by Colin Kinzer, and now gets the third spot after fighting this entire stint to get by.
But will Colin have him back before turn 1? He's come out of turn 3 with a lot more steam by the looks of it.
Well, I think Tommy Kogan.
Andrew. Oh no, Austin Armstrong's pitted, so is Dylan Pitch.
Austin Armstrong into the pit lane. I don't know why it says Andrew Serwick still pit, but
I know it's been set up for the whole stint, and I decided to ignore it and assume that it'll sort itself eventually. Austin Armstrong also looked like he took a fast repair there.
Yep, got to get that damage fixed as much as you can. So
yeah,
he's
don't want
taking
beautiful
tires.
Joe Hendry's face to be destroyed.
Well, look at the gap here that Tommy Kogan's getting on Colin Kinzer, and he'll be happy about this because they will probably pit at the same time.
Yeah, but he needs to make sure he gets out ahead after all that, otherwise he'll be screaming and having to do the whole dance again. He might not scream, I don't know. But do you think Tommy Kogan screams while racing?
No, I think he's actually probably one of the calmest drivers out there.
Possibly.
Andrew Serwick into the pit lane here. Tommy Kogan will.
This is surreal. He's actually in the pits for real rather than the fake pits he's been in for the last.
Yes, he is in the pits.
Laps.
That's him on your screen right now.
He didn't overshoot his pit box, so bravo.
Bravo to him. Now, this is where it comes down to. Where does Andrew Serwick come out at? Does Austin Armstrong get by? As he is coming through the final turn, it's going to be close, and
I think
Andrew Serwick is out.
Sliding like crazy out of turn 3 there.
It's going to be absolutely close.
Closer than you thought. Yeah, because of the momentum as well Austin's got. No, I don't think he's going to get the move
2
done.
seconds.
But yeah, but that's the thing. He's closed 2 or 3 seconds there in that stint, or because of that earlier stop. And he'll have maybe one or two laps of pot of tyres. Maybe can really close the gap and get into the draft, and maybe think about getting a move done.
Well, now Tommy Kogan still out there. 14 laps to go. I don't think he can make it.
No chance.
No chance.
But I guess he wanted to extend this for as long as possible.
Well, Kinzer has pitted, and that's who he's battling this entire race is Alexander Barnes into the pit lane as well. And the gap has come down to a second between these two.
That's what I want to see, Adam. We need a fight to the end here between Austin and Andrew, but Andrew with a clean air. I just saw the last time he was too strong, and he didn't make any mistakes. While Austin made a few in that stint. Maybe he's learnt from it, and maybe he'll be a bit smarter racing in this last stint. Tommy Kogan hits pit road. He's our final pitter of these second stints, so he's going to lose the lead to Andrew Serwick. And now, I guess the question for Tommy is, he's going to come out ahead of Colin, because that's who he's battling really at the moment.
I don't think so. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be incredibly close, but I think Tommy Kogan went one lap too many.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
On that run.
Yeah, Colin's already coming
down the front stretch.
Right. Yeah, there we go. He's got the move done.
Yep.
We're just lapping Thomas Castanelli as well. He's in P13.
Yeah, I think Tommy Kogan should have pitted the lap after Colin Kinzer did.
I agree. Again, Tommy's not done many oval races in the truck, I don't believe, so it might be a bit of naivety or lack of knowledge, which is certainly, this is the thing with oval racing. It's a different beast to road, and it just, to learn all the nuances and how to manage a race takes time.
It does. It does, and is, last week he had a pretty impressive performance, and the skill is definitely there on the oval track as it is in the road,
Oh,
and
definitely.
so it's just these little things on strategy, especially on oval courses, or ovals. You have to be strategic on when you pit. It's not just
Yeah.
run the field to the end. Sometimes you want to cut that short by a lap or two and try and maybe do the undercut and make up the position or maintain position. So, kind of a race recap here. No cautions here tonight. Austin Armstrong, Colin Kinzer, Tommy Kogan, all were battling for the lead at one point, but now it's pretty much spread out here as we have 11 laps to go, and Andrew Serwick leading the way by 1.3 seconds, but Austin Armstrong trying to just slowly close that gap and try and make up as much ground as he can. At this point, you can use and abuse your tires.
Yeah, it's essentially, yeah, that's it. There's no holding back now. We're getting close to when the pay window's open, and Austin Armstrong needs to do whatever he can to close in on Andrew Serwick. But like I said, at the moment, Andrew's not making any mistakes. He's not helping Austin in any way, shape, or form by giving him even a sniff. But Austin himself seems to be a bit more consistent in this stint. He made too many mistakes in the last one. Adam just sort of let Andrew get further and further away. Well, 10 laps to go. Just over a second between them. All to play for at this stage.
You can see the gap has been pretty consistent in the last couple of laps as we've been following. That 1.3,
Yeah.
1.4 range now, so he's lost a little bit to Andrew.
It's turn one that's sort of killing him at the moment. He's losing a lot of time there. He's lost a lot of time actually on this whole lap. He got very wide there. So he's 1.6 behind now. And this has been the problem. He's over driving the car a bit too much into turn one, and then again in turn two there. Turn three was a bit better, but he's lost 6 tenths on one lap. So
Yeah,
it's difficult.
his last lap of 56.3, Andrew Serwick of 55.9. So definitely, yeah, turn one really is hurting him. You can just see 1.8 seconds now, and he's going in just a little bit too hot and not finding the grip in the middle of the corner.
It's incredibly tricky. It's really, again, every corner here, it's the exits that really square off, and they come at you very quickly. And turn one always looks very inviting. Like you think you can hit the throttle a lot earlier than you probably should. And if you get it slightly wrong, then you can see you're going to hit the wall, and basically then you obviously have to back out, and that just hurts you all the way down that back straight. But if you get it just right, you can get such a great momentum boost. But here we see a battle between Cody Barrett and Dylan Pitch for sixth. They've been battling away a good chunk of this race, Adam. But Craig Bray just sitting in the wings waiting to see what these two do.
Craig Bray, an unfortunate error from him tonight. He and Tommy Kogan coming into the pit lane together, and I think Craig didn't realize that Tommy Kogan was right there.
Yep, it paid to Craig's thoughts of a win. That incident with Tommy Kogan on the first pit stops, basically spinning him around in on pit road. But we're getting down to the final few laps now. 7 to go. Austin Armstrong's up to 3 seconds back. He almost feels like he's given up the ghost now. And it's all about whether Andrew Serwick makes an unforced error, which unfortunately I don't think is going to happen with the way he's driven tonight. A very commanding. Once he took the lead, Adam has been very commanding in his performance.
Yes, yes, it has.
No one's been able to answer him basically. Yeah, it's strategy and the driving styles is played into his hand. He's just been able to extend the gap both stints, even with losing a few seconds, pitting later than Austin Armstrong the second time round. Just managed to reclaw that back, and he's just got 6 laps to go once he crosses the line here. But caution now would just change everything, and it's looking less and less likely, Adam. Austin Armstrong would be a happy man if a caution came out now.
Yeah.
As would a few drivers, I guess.
I'm just doing some live point totals to kind of get us geared up for next week. With Andrew Surwick now out in front, he gets 40 points for the race win, and then he'll have bonus points for a bonus point for leading the most laps, and then a bonus point for leading a lap. So he's at 331 right now, and Austin Armstrong will be at 317. Gap will grow quite significantly, but it doesn't keep Austin Armstrong out of the championship. After tonight, Cody will probably be out of the championship. I mean, of course, that's next week if basically both cars have to DNF for Cody to even have a chance, I think. So next week's going to be very interesting as we have 5 laps to go at Homestead, and looking at that gap between Andrew and Austin heading into next week, unless something happens here later here in the next 5 laps, James. It's going to be an interesting final race to see who's going to come out on top in that, and hopefully it's a race to the finish, and may the best man win, and hopefully no one gets into an accident next week.
Speaking of accidents, we've seen Mark Feeney's drop back. I don't know if he's had an incident. But yeah, the championship battle will go down to the wire, but certainly if things stay as they are, Andrew Sewick's given a great chance to finish up and wrap up the title next week. Well, 4 laps. If anything can happen, maybe we'll, we sit here hoping for a caution or a caution changing the race on its head.
Yeah, that is.
The only person who don't want a caution at this stage is Andrew Sewick. Everyone else just love it to just get that one last shot, a chance of a win.
That is definitely on the mind of Andrew Sewick right now. Please no caution.
Yeah.
Please no caution here in the last 3 laps. And it very still could happen. I mean, it's been fairly calm out there.
I remember winning an IndyCar race here with a very late caution. Obviously, there's no green white checkers in IndyCar, but I was literally going to run out of fuel the lap the caution came out, and I was able to coast over the line in map 8. It was great. Unless you Nick Jew, I don't think he was too happy. I don't think he's still not happy to this day that I won that race and stole it from him. But Tommy Kogan, he's in 4th. He's just smacked the wall. Why not? 3 laps to go. Use up all that truck at this stage. Colin Kisner in 3rd. He was leading early on, but after the first stops, he dropped back, and he's never been able to regain the time he lost on Andrew. But he's going to look like another solid podium finish.
Yeah, Andrew right now really commanding this race as he heads down the back stretch. If a caution were to come out now, it would be a green-white checker. It's the white flag that is the flag that's most important for Andrew Surwick right now.
Yeah, he needs to hustle around turn 3 and hope no one goes around. because I'm not certain the next flag will end it.
And here we go.
Oh,
Final
yep.
lap here for Andrew Surwick. Caution comes out now. It would not
It's game
matter.
over. And like I said, you got to take your hat off him tonight. Once he got that lead, he's not looked back. Just leaving everyone in his rear view mirror. Austin
He-
Armstrong is tried his hardest, but he's going to end up probably finishing P2. But he'll still take the title to the final round, Adam. That's the main thing.
Well,
And
Andrew Surwick, he has one hand on the trophy at this point. He just knows that next week he's just got to get the job done. He's got to stay in front of Austin. He's got to pretty much, if he wins it, it's over. That's what he has to do, and that's what he probably wants to do. Andrew Surwick will cross the line, and he'll win here tonight at Pocono. And Austin Armstrong will come home to second place again, all unofficial. All unofficial still. Colin Kinzer, third place. Tommy Lee Kogan really
Fourth.
shot out of a cannon there at the end, but he'll finish fourth. Brock Whiteman in fifth place. Dylan Pitch gained 5 positions into sixth. Craig Bray, after being in the battle for the lead there for a long time, end up falling back into P7. Cody Barrett, who's having a fun time spinning around, in P8. Alexander Barnes in his first race tonight, and P9 and P10. Sam Carasala.
That's what I like to see. Bit of carnage.
Big carnage. Yes. So
Yeah.
let's take a look at
It-
the race results.
I would say Brock Whiteman, P5. We didn't really speak about it at all, but very solid, solid drive there.
Yeah,
Went under the radar.
Yeah, he gained 5 spots. So the most spots gained tonight was plus 6. That was Sam Carasala, who picked up 6 spots tonight. So, well, we're going to take a brief pause here in the action. We'll get our podium finishers. Of course, Austin Armstrong we won't speak to. It would be a very quick interview. And we'll talk with our winner, Andrew Surwick, as well. So don't touch that browser. We'll be right back with our here in the broadcast booth with us, Andrew Surwick now, and race at the beginning seemed awfully exciting. Race to the end, pure dominance.
Yeah, it was fun battling up there at the front. I was just kind of keeping pace. I wasn't really pushing hard or anything, and I knew I was faster than all those guys in front of me, but I was just trying to save tires, and those guys were starting to scrub off towards the end. So I knew when they all started to pit in front of me, I busted out a really quick lap and ended up getting a really big lead from there. And after that, it was just cruise control pretty much.
Well, you had a great battle there with Austin Armstrong, Colin Kinser, Craig Bray was in the mix as well. And this is the kind of track you got a lot of space to work with on the straights, but unfortunately the corners not so much.
Yeah, it gets a little tight, especially turn two. It's really just a one lane, maybe two lane track out there. 1 and 3, you have a little bit more space to work with, but um, you it's just very hard to pass around here. You can lose a lot of momentum battling people too much. So um, I was just trying to just keep up with everyone, and I was doing a really good job at that while maintaining a really good tire life. Like I said in that first stint, I could tell everyone was starting to struggle towards the end, but I was feeling really good on the tires. So yeah, it was it was fun out there, but at first, and then kind of just got boring. We're all kind of in the Discord saying that, a yellow would be good, but I was saying, yeah, yellow would be nice because I get to battle someone, but at the same time, I didn't want to lose the race because of a stupid yellow. So
Caution-free race here tonight. I think that's the first time that we've gone caution-free on an oval ever.
yeah, between IndyCar and the trucks, yeah, that's the first caution-free oval race that we've
Hey,
had. So.
good job, guys. Good job.
We're improving. We're improving.
We can go caution-free on these big tracks where a caution would have been nice, but yeah. So very interesting to see a caution-free Pocono race. Now next week we head to Homestead, and should be an interesting race again, but it also should be I think a fun race.
Yeah, I think tire management's gonna definitely come into play next week. Obviously, Homestead's kind of it's kind of a one-lane track, especially in these trucks. It's just that the top is very very dominant. So it's gonna be interesting. The guys that can save tires are gonna be at the front at the end of the race. But my goal next week is obviously just to finish the race. I have such a big lead in the championship now that I think I can just seal it up just by finishing it. So
just don't crash now.
Yeah, I mean, I think just finishing the race, I'll be all right because the way the points work.
Well, we'll see you next week, and we'll wrap up season 1.
Yep. I'll see you guys next week. Oh, Adam, I have one question for you.
Yes.
Do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Goodbye.
Well, dear.
We are not getting. I am not going to allow this to happen on the stream. No.
Well.
Colin Kinser joining us in P3 tonight. Colin, you were there in the beginning, but unfortunately it didn't work out so much in the end.
Yeah, I cooked the pit lane like 7 times on that first pit in. I think I was too far forward, then too far left, then too far back. So, that loses time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of time loss. You had a great battle with Tommy Kogan throughout the race, and unfortunately he got by you in that second stint. But you decided to pit, went for the undercut, and he went. I think he went maybe 3 or 4 laps, James, extra. Okay, so talk to that second stint. Obviously interesting for sure.
Yeah, second stint was interesting. I was by myself the whole entire time, looking behind me of the skill issues of Tommy there. He was kind of mid on that second stint. I saw Andrew hitting the wall a couple times up there, definitely, 100%. And then, yeah, I mean, it was boring from there.
Yeah. Next week, Homestead. First off, are you planning on being at Homestead, and will you try and get the most wins this season?
Uh, I mean, I'll try and be there. But you know, I mean, as long as Austin doesn't wreck me, I think I'll be good.
All right. Well, congratulations on a podium finish. You've had only one race off of the podium this year, so congratulations on that. So thank you, Colin, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you. Also, do you believe?
You're getting quite
James?
quick at disconnecting people.
Thank God for another monitor. So, James, let's recap this one and look forward to next week in Miami.
Yeah, well, caution-free race, and Andrew played it really well. Sorry, one second, I can't talk. Coughing. Right, yeah. Where was it? Let's start again. So yeah, like I said, Andrew, he won the race. He basically dominated once he got in the lead. Obviously, he helped that people like Colin made mistakes and basically put themselves in the hole. So there's aspects that played into his favour. And now, like I said, he's just got to probably just start at Homestead, and he's pretty much wrapped up the championship. But it's not over, and anything can happen.
Anything can happen, yes.
Yeah.
Next week, Miami Homestead, and that I think we're going to see an interesting race there, especially if we get about the same group of guys. I think those guys it's going to be a tough track, but we're going to see a lot of guys heading up towards towards the wall and riding the wall a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say it is a track where the high side really pays off, and it just helps you the whole stint with the tyre wear and everything. So we'll see what happens next week, Adam. Obviously, progressive ranking at Homestead. We'll. I mean, what can you say? I mean, Austin needs to win next week. We've been saying that for several weeks now. He just needed a win to really give himself that shot into the final few weeks. He's going to look back at Michigan and Bristol as 2 weeks where he really dropped a few points through late race penalties, and that could be the difference at the end of it. But no, it's all set up for next week. Grand finale. It's not over yet. Can Austin answer the call and stop Andrew winning this championship? And Adam, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Well, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week for the Season 1 finale here at Apollo Racing Club. Hit that follow button on Twitch and hit subscribe on YouTube and catch up with all the action here at Apollo Racing Club. And we will see you next week here, same time, same place here on Apollo